Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. It's been a while, but we now have issue 94 of Hachette's Disney Doll's House. My apologies, this has taken so long. Life's just got in the way, you know how it is. I've got that many models on the go at the moment, and work's been manic, and Christmas, and it's took a while to get back into the flow. But we're back, and we are going to blitz through a lot of these, because I've got right up to, I want to say 106. So I'm going to blitz these. We're going to go through them. So this is going to be very much a Disney Doll's House week. There's going to be a lot because I want to get up to date. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, this is 94. Now, I believe in this one, let me just double check something, that we need to fit magnets to the house. Am I right in saying that? No, that probably comes up in 97 or something then. We got magnets in 93, apparently. I don't remember ever seeing them. I have no memory of seeing those magnets, none. If I had of, I would have put them. I've got a very specific place for things like that. They're not there. So unless they're in the house or something like that, I don't know. I've either thrown them away or they dropped on the, I don't know. But if they don't turn up, I can't install them. So that is what it is. I think it's 97 we put those in. But if they don't turn up, I can't install them. I mean, it's that simple. So we'll just buy another one. I mean, if it's that simple, I'll just have to buy another one. I don't want to, but I'll buy another one. Annoying, but it is what it is. So in this one, we are building the last of our freestanding lights. So we have the fireplace to assemble. That'll be nice. We're putting the chimneys on. We've got more roofing. So we're roofing that side panel on next to Disney, next to Donald and Peter Pan's room. So we're going to be tiling that. It's quite a lot to do in this one. This is quite labour intensive, and we're going to do a bit of tile on the main roof that we built, so we've got to tile all that up. So the good thing about that is we don't need the house on the table to do that. The house is going to have to come up for a little bit, then it's going to go back down, then we can crack on with the roof. And then we're doing the roof for about the next 3. So that's quite nice, because it means I haven't got to keep lifting the house up and down, which I'm sure you're experiencing yourselves. At the end of this one, because it's been a while, something that happened on January the 1st of this year, you may have heard about, and I'm going to give you a bit of clarity on this one, because I know people like, when they're making videos and whatnot, to use stuff, music and images and things like that they might get citations for. And something happened in January of this year relating to Mickey Mouse, where a lot of people think Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain, which means anyone can use him. Kind of true. And it's quite complicated, but we'll go into it at the end. So if you are confused about what does this mean, what's happening with Mickey Mouse, I'll explain exactly what's happening with Mickey Mouse at the end of this one in the simplest way I can. But without further ado, let's get this one open. Let's get this little fireplace built. Okay, so here is our Beauty and the Beast fireplace. Now this is the same as all of them, so the back's kind of hollow on this one, but what we're going to have to do is going to have to take out these 2 screws here to get the battery in. Now I'm using the tiniest screwdriver I've got, so hopefully you've still got the screwdriver that you would have had to use on the Peter Pan cone. It'll work. God, those are bloody long screws. Right, that's just one. Let's take the other one out. It's a bit weird, this. They should have just left this out and then let you put it in yourself. I don't know why it's come like that. That's really odd. But I mean, you're going to have to do this anyway. Anytime you want to change the battery, this is how this is going to have to go. So that should now come out of there. Yep. So taking our battery. Go look at this. Ooh, so you can see what I'm doing. Flat side down. Pop that in there. And before we screw it back into place, let's make sure it works. Yeah, I can see that's working. I can also see that it's got an unchristly amount of light bleed. So we will be addressing that. We will be fixing that. Right. Let's get these screws back in. So that's 1, and this is screw number 2, and that's going to go in the bottom right hand corner here. Okay, so that's now like that, and then we should be able to turn this one on. And there we have it. That's quite a lovely little fireplace. I like that. Now, it's quite bright on the camera, so the camera absorbs all the light from everywhere it is, but where I'm looking at it, it's not so harsh. And it doesn't need to be, because The Beauty and the Beast room's got quite a lot of light going into it, so you don't need to light that up massively. It's not sort of, all caved in. It's got the large window. But I think that's lovely. I think that's really nice. And I think that's going to look great in the room. Right, we are going to have to bring the house up, and we're going to have to do a little bit of tiling. And then we're going to move... we're going to install the chimneys as well. And then the house is going to go back down, and we're going to work on the roof panel. There we go. So that's the Fire and Beauty and Beast room. It's nice, right? And that's nice. How much light that's kicking off. It's lovely. Good stuff. Right, we're going to put the chimneys on. Let's work on this part, the top of the house, the very top. We're going to take our chimney, and it's going to fit in here. Now, it will fit flush. You can find the sweet spot so it sort of locks in, so it's not going to turn. Once you've got that, you're glued in place exactly where it needs to be. We're then going to do the exact same thing over here with the second chimney. So that one will go on there like so. Don't go mad on the glue, don't need to. You need enough on here so it will hold. Create yourself a nice bond. Let the glue do its job, let the glue dry, and then we're done with that section. So let me get this glued in, we'll take a look. This is the section we're working on. We are going to be tiling this entire thing. Now, let me show you the cards that you need. So you need this one here, which is numbered 8 through to 18 on that one. And then you need the first one, which is this one here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 16. It's in random, but we're going in sequence. We're going in numerical sequence. So starting with 1 at the bottom, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go all the way up, right the way up to 18. Now, there's only 17 slots. So what's going to happen is 17 is going to go in, then 18 is going to overlap 17. I hope that makes sense. But I'm going to start adding these tiles now. They do need to be trimmed. So again, you will see the perforation lines where you need to trim these. But these should go on quite lovely. Again, I'm using the Bostik method. I find that works perfectly for me. So I'm using the Bostik glue to stick these because it's worked beautifully. So I'm going to get that all glued up and we will take a look. Okay, so that's all put in now. Now, there are some very wacky kind of shapes that need to be cut out. As you can see, the glare of the glue on there. Some wacky shapes need to cut out to keep those... we've got fascia pieces going to go in. So it's a little unusual. I've just popped this on now to see what it looks like against it. Again, I can't find those bloody magnets, so I don't know where they are. We are now going to be working on this section here. So we are going to be tiling, I mean, this is bloody small. We're tiling this section here, and that's going to be us done for this issue. So I can put the house away, because we're like a bell in there. I'm going to put this house away, and we're going to be working on this section here. Okay, so with the house out of the way, the plan is now to tile this whole area here, 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 and here. We're going to have that whole thing done. Now, this gets a little complicated, but not overly complicated. So if we take this piece as an example, we're going to take tile 1 out of here, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So you are actually going to get 2 tiles out of this one tile. See? A little confusing, but bear with me and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we've got 1 and we've got 1A. At the moment, we've got tile 1, that's it. So I'm going to take my craft scissors here, and we are going to create 1A. Now, this little dink piece here is not 1A. It's madness. But what's going to happen is we're going to take this piece off, like so, and then that piece in the middle becomes 1A. It's madness, I know, but this tiny little slither is going to be 1A. So that piece here, it's madness, I know, but that is 1A, and that is going to go right on this corner piece there. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to have these very, very tiny slithers. So 1A is going to go there, and then 1 is going to go here. I hope that makes sense. So this piece here now, we've got to take, let's go all the way, show what we're talking about. Take that piece off, we're on the perforated line. So this piece will attach to along there. So that's 1, and then this dinky little piece there will attach there. And then we're going to do the same with 2, we're going to do the same with 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to get this done, and we will take a look at where we are. So there we are with this one done. It took a while. It's crap all over the place. It took a while. But I like tiling. I find it therapeutic, and it looks beautiful once it's done. And the next couple of issues, we are working on all the windows that are going to go into this to complete this section. But I think it looks beautiful and looks lovely. And that is all there is to this stage. Let's have a chat. So that's that one done, and it's looking lovely. There we are. It's all tarred up. It's looking nice. Large bay window's going to go in there. Window's going to go in there. We're going to tar the top of those windows and the sides of those windows as well. So we ain't done with the tiling yet. We got more tiling to go. It is what it is. But we are coming to the end of that tiling, then we will return to it again. So the porch at the front has tiling on. That's how we end the build. So the very last thing we do is apply some tiles. So now you know. We will be back very, very soon with issue 95. And as I said, it's pure Disney this week. So we will catch up completely. So by the end of this week, we'll be up to 106 with all of you. We were going to talk about, if you are just sticking around for the building instructions, thank you for stopping by, but we're going to talk about something that happened January the 1st this year involving Mickey Mouse, but not just any old Mickey Mouse, this Mickey Mouse. So that's the original Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie. Now, public domain's a funny thing. If you own the copyright to something, it's yours. You own it, it's yours. But after a certain amount of years, typically 70 years, something becomes public domain, which means free use. Anyone can use it and they don't have to pay you anything. Before then, you have to pay. So you have to pay a license to use it, your license to use it, but they have the copyright. With public domain, something leaves copyright. It means anyone can use it. So has Mickey Mouse gone into the public domain? Yes and no. So you can't just use images of Mickey Mouse how you want. You can't start slapping Mickey Mouse on t-shirts and selling it. You can't start using music from Mickey Mouse cartoons in your videos and then expect not to get citation for it. That's not what's happened. So one version of Mickey Mouse has entered the public domain, and it's that version. It is the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse. And he comes from an era in animation known as the rubber hose era. And the reason why it's called rubber hose is because they didn't really have elbows or knees, and their arms kind of move like rubber hoses, hence the name rubber hose. Now you'll notice there are some things missing from that Mickey. He's not wearing the big white gloves. So if you were to put Mickey Mouse on a t-shirt where he's wearing the big white gloves, well, you got a problem. Disney are going to sue you. If you put a Mickey Mouse on a t-shirt that's wearing the Fantasia outfit, again, you got a problem. Disney are going to sue you because that is not in public domain. The only version of Mickey Mouse that's in public domain is the Steamboat Willie version. So you can put Steamboat Willie on a t-shirt and sell it, but what you can't do is say this is Disney's Steamboat Willie, because it isn't. It's your Steamboat Willie. It just means Disney cannot sue you for copyright infringement. So that's what's happened. So please don't think you can start taking the intro tune from, because that's the other thing they've done as well. Disney flooded the market with different versions of Steamboat Willie. So at the beginning of all Disney cartoons, now I think it started with Frozen. There's Steamboat Willie whistling, and he's whistling, and that is not that's not the original. So if you use that, you'd get in trouble because that's a new version of it. That's somebody else's. They're not stupid. So Steamboat Willie actually went into public domain about 20 years ago, but they kept getting kind of stay of execution. So Disney kept appealing to American Congress, who would just extend it and extend it and extend it. But now they've passed that. They've passed the statute of limitations. It just can't be done. So it's not done to hurt companies. It's done to actually boost artistic expression, because the idea being that nobody can have that much of a monopoly on a cartoon mouse. If you do any cartoon mouse, people are instantly going to draw like this is the Mickey Mouse, so you ripped it off. And Disney have got an army of lawyers that would gladly do that. And if you think Disney aren't the kind of people who do that, well, they are. If you've ever gone to see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in pantomime, you might have noticed that the dwarfs had different names. So the dwarfs were called, instead of Sneezy, might have been called Sniffy. And instead of Dopey, he might be Dozy. And instead of Sleepy, he might be Snoozy. The reason why they do that is because Disney will sue you, right? Even if you are a small amateur dramatic company that are putting on Snow White and Seven Dwarfs for Christmas, they will sue you. They will cease and desist you. They've got an army of lawyers that go looking for these, and they will give you a cease and desist. Stop now. Because what Disney have done, which is quite genius, is they've taken a lot of public domain stories over the years and claimed them as their own. So Disney aren't really in a position to get angry about people using public domain properties when they've done it themselves. It's how they made their fortune. So Cinderella was not written by Disney. It's a fairy tale that is in the public domain. Anyone can make Cinderella. However, what Disney do is they put elements to it that make it theirs. So Winnie the Pooh entered public domain last year. And as a result of that, you can write the further adventures of Winnie the Pooh. What you can't do is do Disney's version of Winnie the Pooh with the red sweater on, because that is from the 1970s. So that's not in public domain. That image is not in public domain. They own that. So if you think you can do all these Winnie the Poohs, it's not. The original A.A. Milne illustrations of Winnie the Pooh not wearing the red sweater are theirs. So what Disney have done very cleverly is made everyone, you think Winnie the Pooh, you think he's wearing the red sweater. Never did. That is a Disney thing. Similar with the Cheshire Cat. You think Cheshire Cat, you think pink and purple. The Cheshire Cat was never pink and purple. The Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland is brown. He's a cat. He's not pink and purple. That's a Disney thing. So if you start doing pink and purple cats, Disney can sue you. Even though Alice in Wonderland is in the public domain. It's the same as Snow White's dress. The Snow White's dress that we all kind of know now, that yellow, blue and red, is never mentioned in the books that's what she wore. That's a pure Disney device. But that is what we now all picture Snow White as wearing. Snow White wore a white gown, hence the name. So it's what they do. So be very careful. If you're going to go start slapping Steamboat Willie on things, make sure that you are whiter than white when it comes to knowing what it is that you've done. Because you start putting gloves on him or changing his eyes and giving him the more modern Mickey look, you're going to have a problem. Public domain is an absolute minefield, so just be careful. I know a couple of videos pulled for putting Disney music into them. You can definitely put Disney music in your videos, but you need to get a license to do it. And you could get a license from Disney, but they're going to want probably about 50 or 60 grand to do it. And I don't know if any YouTube video is worth that, you know? So just be careful. I mean, you might get away with it, but if you get citationed, you're going to get citations, you know? So just be very careful. And that is the simplest way I can explain public domain. There is a lot more to it than that, a hell of a lot more to it. When we start getting into trademarks and copyrighted and logos, and it gets really complicated. But that is the easiest way I can describe what's currently going on with Mickey Mouse. So now you know. I'll be back very soon with issue 95 of Hachette's Build a Disney Doll's House. We'll be adding windows to this, and eventually we'll have this completed and this will be going to the house. I can't find those magnets, so I'm just going to buy some more. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. We'll be back very, very soon. Until then, take care.